Alright, so I picked up this motherboard off eBay about a week ago. It was really the only piece missing to get this build going. I already had, like the processor, memory, case, video card, all that. I just needed the motherboard. But this is an Asus motherboard, Z370 chipset on it. Supports. I got an i7, an eighth generation i7. It's an i7 8700, I believe. Pretty good stack of DDR4 memory here in various sizes, various 8 gig and 16 gig sticks here. So, like I said, I already had, power supplies, case, hard drive, this, that, the other. For the I/O on it, of course, you guys can see 7.1 surround sound, Ethernet, various USBs. It's got a USB-C on there, right there. 3 video outs, built-in Wi-Fi. Here's the M.2 slot for the hard drive. Of course, various expansion slots. I've got a brand new CMOS battery I'll be putting in there. Of course, processor. USB-C plug. 6 SATA hard drive connections there. There are several LED headers on here, along with several fan headers, obviously. I do have a 250 gig M.2 drive I'm putting in there just for now, just for testing purposes. And when I swap it, if you guys can see the case behind here. So this computer right here, it's an i7 7700K. I'm going to be upgrading that with this new motherboard. And it actually has a 1 terabyte M.2 drive in it, which I'm going to utilize for this new build. And then I have 10 terabytes worth of platter drives, some spinning drives in there, which I'm going to utilize on this build as well. But right now, I'm just going to mock it up, run a few tests on it, make sure everything's actually, like I said, just to ensure that everything's actually working the way it's supposed to be and nothing blown on it. As far as I can tell, I don't see any physical damage on the motherboard itself. Let's get into it. I'm going to get things put together, and we will be back shortly. Alright, so I figured out what the problem was. It ended up being the processor itself. And I don't know where there it is. So this i7, this 8th gen i7 is damaged somehow. That's where all the problems were coming from. I did have a 9th generation i5 on hand that I have in there for now. It seems to be working perfectly fine. I was able to get into BIOS. I reflashed the BIOS to the latest version, hoping, thinking there was some kind of corruption in that, but that didn't really help much. So I've got the i5 in there for now. I did manage to get 48 gigs of memory in this thing, and right now I have done a network boot to my. Excuse the screaming, my daughter is next door playing, but I've done a network boot. I know you guys can't really see the screen right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the operating system installed so I can do a few tests on here. And I just input the wrong password. But anyway, I'm gonna get the operating system installed so I can do some testing and ensure everything else is functioning as expected. I just need to make sure this is going to recognize the hard drive, and it does. So I'm going to try to dig around and see if I can dig up another 8th, 9th gen i7 somewhere. Because I don't really want to stay with a i5. This particular i5, it is a 6 core, 6 physical core. But I really want that i7 for the hyper-threading, so that 6 cores will be doubled. But yeah, I'm gonna let this operating system install. All right, so I was able to get my hands on another 8th generation i7 here. So I'm gonna get it swapped. Make sure it works real quick. All right, well, so far so good. I had to change out my CMOS battery because the old one was dead. Let me get that. I gotta get the time set back real quick. All right. Gotten everything tested. I've ensured the expansion slots are functioning as they should. I'm not going to stay with this 650 Ti boost. I think I'm going to wind up putting this build inside this case. This case here has a i7 7700K. But I'm going to swap it out for this 8th gen i7 just so I can have that a little more modern hardware. But in here I have a 2070, RTX 2070 Super. That when I get everything swapped over, I'm gonna wind up using that video card for this build. But yeah, so let's start the motherboard swap and let's get everything switched over. Alright, so I've gotten everything completely disassembled here. Got the power supply out, old motherboard, took out all the fans because the fans were half working anyway. And I'll replace all this thing. I can put 5 fans in here, which I'll replace all those with brand new fans. I'm going to put a better power supply in here, a modular power supply, so the wiring won't be so messy. But I'm going to take the heatsink off the old motherboard and use for this new one. I don't necessarily like that low profile heatsink, so I'll utilize that somewhere else. I did leave these 2 in here. This is a Blu-ray, DVD, CD, rewrite drive. Of course, I got my 520-inch USB made here. 8 USB ports up front. Has its own USB 3 adapter that plugs straight to the motherboard here. Now this card I took out of the old motherboard. Now it's a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi combo card. I won't need that for the new motherboard because the new one has that built on to the motherboard directly. As for other cards, I'm going to use this external SATA adapter. Plug an external SATA hard drive into it for backups. I got this parallel and serial port card I'm going to put in it. I'm going to put a second 1 gig network jack in there. So I can't decide which one I want to use, to be honest with you. I'll probably go with this one. 5 USB 3 ports and 2 USB-Cs. And a video card. A RTX 2070 Super. And then we have the base plate for the new motherboard. Go ahead and pop that in there so I don't lose it. Alright guys, I just noticed my microphone was pretty far away. I hope you guys heard all that. I'll be back in a bit. I guess to you guys it will pretty much be instant.
Okay, everything is put together. I've got Windows 11 loaded, gotten everything updated, gotten all my applications loaded. This is basically a backup PC to my to my main one. This is sitting over here obviously on my workbench, so I can record and look things up on my workbench as I'm working on something. Now I've gotten all the same basic applications on here as I do my main desktop, as far as, you know, I've got a few games on here, I've gotten some of my recording software on here, and just miscellaneous other things. Let's see if we can get a better look at the side. I know you guys can't really see that too well because this side plastic piece is the acrylic, not the actual glass, so it's kind of obscured a little bit. But anyway, let me get over to my screen capture so you guys can get a better look at this. Alright, so what we have, some basic applications on here. Steam for gaming, got, Star Assist in here, Vortex for my mods, a couple of programs here for screen recording. And here's the task manager. You can see that i7 8700 I have in there, 40 gigs of memory. Now, eventually I will get brand new memory for the thing and have all 4 sticks of memory matching. Now eventually I'm going to get new memory for this thing to where all of the monitors are actually matching in speed. Like I said, I've just got all 4 sticks are just miscellaneous RAM sticks of varying speeds and size. It's just really what I had on hand. I just threw it in there just to make it work. Here's my 1 terabyte M.2 drive. Here's my secondary drive, 11 terabytes. That's striped between 4 drives. Of course, both my Ethernet connections, my video card here, my 2070 Super. But that's about it. I wanted to show this slight upgrade to you guys. I know it's not particularly a big leap, it's just 1 generation newer, but the main thing is it supports Windows 11 now by default, and that's really the main thing I was going for here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.